Adventure crafter, homemade horror is what I'm after. Welcome to the Dark Nook Monster Shop.
Welcome to the Dark Nook Monster Shop. Sometimes I make monsters just to make monsters, but other times, like today, I build creatures to test out new materials or methods or techniques. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make and use foam clay paste. I start with wire and a few foam balls to rough out the structure. I draw a basic face and then I cut one of the foam balls down into something somewhere between a mole rat and a gopher. In the Dark Nook Monster Shop, I'm always trying to make monster making more approachable, especially for artists who don't have hundreds of dollars to pour into a single creature. That's one of the main reasons I've been working with foam clay for a few years now. It's really cheap and versatile. I use a heat gun to smooth out the edges of the styrofoam ball before moving on to the wire armature. So, I've been testing a new technique with this foam clay. I've made a sort of paintable liquid foam clay paste by mixing it with Mod Podge. Now, I'm not claiming I invented this. Maybe I did. It's just a mix of foam clay and Mod Podge, so I figure that somebody's probably tried something like this somewhere before, but I've never seen it. So, at the very least, I think this one is a Dark Nook original recipe. I add the foam balls to the wire armature, and then use some more wire and hot glue to make arms and hands. Now, I could just use aluminum foil, but that would make it a lot heavier. And by using foam balls, I keep it so light I can give it flimsy little feet and it'll still be able to stand on its own. And these feet are just two loop twists of wire with enough room to hold some toes later on. I poke wire through the foam ball to make the arms. And then for the hands, I cut 4 bits of floral wire, then twist and hot glue them to the thicker garden wire that I used for the arms. I use a bit of floral wire to wrap around those 4, not only to secure them, but with the last bit of wire that's sticking out, I make it into a thumb. To fill the gaps between foam balls, I poke in some toothpicks and then wrap it with pieces of masking tape. Foam clay likes to stick to it, and by skinning over the gaps like this, I use way less foam clay than if I had to pack it into all the gaps and crevices. So once these gaps are all taped up, I paint the whole piece with Mod Podge. This will help the clay stick even better. For the eyes, I just cut a foam ball in half. This gives me 2 identical blank hemispheres that'll be the eyes. But I'm going to make these eyes all cloudy and blind, like a blind mole rat. Ever see one of them? They're real creepy. Next, I make the little teeth and toes. If I try to push the camera in close enough so that you can really see what I'm doing here, it just keeps getting blurry and confused, so enjoy this wide shot of me making little tiny toes and teeth. Now, the foam clay I use comes from Amazon, and it's literally the cheapest I can find. These kits are like $10 and have 30 or 40 of these little pouches in assorted colors. That's why the things I make look like a patchwork Technicolor nightmare until I paint them. But this way, it's like 30 cents a packet. So all in on this project, I'm using maybe $3 worth of clay and foam balls. I lay down some red foam clay in the mouth for the teeth to sink into. And here's my first batch of foam clay paste, which I cleverly mixed up just off camera. Don't worry, I'll do this several more times, but eventually later I will do it once for you in frame. You can see the mix here. It's a thick paste, like toothpaste or creamy peanut butter, so you can brush it into the cracks and crevices and use it as a filler. But it's thin enough that you can also paint with it and you get pretty good coverage and it dries just fine. I cover the whole head and start adding the teeth. I start out thinking, hey, maybe this time a reasonable amount of teeth. But I have all this extra room on the sides here so I can add a few more teeth. Then I figure, hey, maybe this guy eats his way through the dirt, so he's gonna need way more teeth. At least another row or 2. Later, when I finally run out of teeth, I paint a layer of foam clay over the hands and fingers. Once that dries, I start adding some regular foam clay to shape out the hands. And it sticks really well to the layer of foam clay paste that's painted over the wires. As you can see, my next packet of clay is green. I start to flesh out the arms and neck. I just glob down the whole packet of clay and smush it around on the surface with my hands. It's very satisfying. Once I've got some good coverage, I use a texture stamp to push the foam clay around a bit and shape it somewhat while imparting a funky skin texture. The next clay packet is yellow. Or rather, this is the rest of the yellow packet that I started with when I made the teeth and the toes. I keep filling out the basic shape of the body and legs. Then, I sculpt this ear. I'm thinking I want them big and pointy, but I was wrong. I was thinking maybe like, bat ears, but nah. I start defining the edges of the mouth and lips too. Then it's on to a blue packet of clay. So, what's that, about $1.20 so far? I build out the basic shapes and wrinkles around the cheek and nose, and then I build up the chin and bottom lip. Then I use a texture stamp and a brush to shape and blend the edges. I repeat that process, just building up the shape of the face and the eyes and the brow. I shape and I smooth and I texture. Then I add some little details and finer wrinkle. Then I repeat that process. So here's the thing about sculpting. You don't have to get it done the first time. It doesn't have to be perfect your first go round. It's not about getting it right. It's not about being perfect. Think about it like this. If you're not happy with it, then right now is just a step in the process. Every step or every layer in this system allows you to go back and correct something that you might have got wrong in the last layer, or to remove something maybe you didn't like and add something new. You repeat the process until you're happy with it. And if you're not happy with it, where it is right now is just a step in the process. So keep working on it until you are happy with it. Or you have a video to get done a week ago. Like, I decided I hated this ear, and so I went all Vincent van Gogh on it and cut it off. So just remember, if you don't like how something on your sculpt looks, just hack it off and start over. We're making monsters here, not diffusing bombs. Now, without an ear, it kind of looks like Tommy Pickles, doesn't it? I build up the area a little bit and then add a new and different ear. A little more cat-like. I want the ear to follow the brow line. I think this gives it a little more character, so I shape and I detail the ear to follow that line, and then I repeat the process on the other side. Then I do a little more build-up and a little more shaping and smoothing and texturing. He also needs a Chad chin, so I give him a Chad chin. Next, I open another green packet and start adding to the body. I build up the chest and add some shoulders, and then I texture and smooth them. I stick on some of the toes I made earlier into some green globs of clay on the feet, and once they're all stuck on, I make some more foam clay paste off camera. I paint over the toes with some of the foam clay paste. I also go over the fingers and the hands with a thin coat of foam clay paste. When that's had a chance to dry, it forms a thin foam coat on the wire. So I add a little more foam clay to fill out the meat of the fingers a bit. A new dark green packet, about $1.80 now. But because of the foam clay paste coating on the wires, this makes it really easy for the regular foam clay to stick to the wire really easy, which makes it easier to shape because hands are hard. I plan to paint at least one more layer of foam clay over these hands and fingers and then paint over that for color. So I need to be mindful of not getting too thick by the end of the process. Speaking of thick, he needs a belly. Each coat adds detail and hides the previous one. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep moving forward. Okay, so here it is. This is foam clay paste making. I smoosh some foam clay into a little flat disc, and then I add about an equal amount of Mod Podge. By size, not by weight. Mod Podge is much heavier than the foam clay. Then I start mixing. Slowly, the clay breaks down and incorporates the Mod Podge. I realized that each time I made the paste so far in the video, I did it off camera, so I made a point of showing the mixing process here. After a minute or two of mixing, it turns into a sticky liquid paste, like a slightly melty ice cream consistency. And you can add a little bit of water if you want to thin it, or a little less Mod Podge if you want it thicker. I paint over the edges, any place I want to blend in a little better. I use the liquidy mix to coat the fingers and the hands and the feet and the toes. I have a little extra foam clay paste left, so just as a test, I decided to paint a wing on some plastic sheets. And check this out. After about an hour, I peeled this off like a fruit roll-up. Now look at that. That's got some potential. I can't wait to see someone do some awesome stuff with this, like dragon wings or something. And you'll definitely see me using this again. But now, on to the paint. I start out with a base coat in pink. Then, I paint on an even heavier coat of lighter pink. After that, I airbrush on some dark pink again. Then, I spray on a thin red wash mixed with Mod Podge. I paint a darker red in the mouth. When that's all dry, I dry brush on a medium flesh tone over the whole body. Then I use a slightly lighter flesh tone and stipple on some texture highlights. Next, I move on to some dark red wash in the wrinkles and low points around the eyes. Then I spatter spray some of the dark red with little burnt sienna added in. I also paint some of that into the mouth. Next, I start on the eyes. First, I wet blend some off-white colors together, bone white and cream, with some yellow and red mixed in to get a gross, wet, blotchy look. It's wet blending, so just keep moving. I blend from a sticky brownish yellow white to a gross pus white. Then I paint the teeth with the bone white. This takes a long time because some idiot filled this mouth with way too many teeth. Then I get to the toenails and the fingertips. While that all dries, I add some more red veiny bits to the eyes and then blend that off a little. When that's dry, I cover the eyes and the mouth with UV resin. Now, my little flashlight UV light wasn't quite cutting it, so I picked up this bad boy off Amazon. So yeah, I think that's done. And now, on to the feature creature. So, if you give this foam clay technique a shot, I'd love to see what you come up with. Tag me or drop a comment below. Thanks for checking out my video. Hit like and subscribe for more creepy creatures from the Dark Nook Monster Shop.